Hello, welcome to another Retro Review Roulette video from Retro Rubbish. This is the series where I use a random game generator to pick a random retro game that I'm not familiar with to play for around 15 minutes or so and review it on the fly. I'll point out the good, the bad, and the janky, and I'll give it an overall grade at the end. Alright, here we go. Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at Cars MATER National Championship for the GBA. Never played this one, ever. Nah, I don't know anything about this game, honestly. I'm not even sure if it's a racing game or what kind of game it is. But I guess we'll find out. Disney, Pixar, THQ. Look, could there be any more splash screens? What the hell? Okay, let's do this. Oh, we don't get expert mode right off the bat. Okay, new game. Okay, so we got a cutscene with MATER. It's been a long time since I've seen any Cars movies, so I might forget some of their names. I think that's MATER, yeah. Okay, Racing Stadium. Yeah. I don't need the story right now. I just want to play. Okay, select your car. So we got Lightning McQueen, Ramon, Sheriff, Luigi. I love small cars, MATER. So I'm tempted to pick Luigi. Lizzie. Doc Hudson. Wow, I forget most of these characters. I'm just going to pick Lightning McQueen because, you know, he's the de facto guy. Okay, so it is a racing game. Alright, so let's see what we got. Whoa. Okay, sometimes GBA can do 3D. It's not really known for 3D, and I know there's only a handful of games that really do it well. This seems pretty good. The draw distance is a little questionable, but, you know, honestly, for a GBA game, so far it seems pretty good. It's I wouldn't say it's a really high frame rate, but at least it's a consistent frame rate, at least so far. The controls are a little sluggish, but maybe that's on purpose. So when I turn, it seems to take him a second before the animations really starts. Oh, I missed that. I'm assuming that was a boost. But yeah, before the animation really starts actually turning, it just takes a little bit. You can always see where you're going. It's not that hard. At least maybe this is just an easy track. But like, look, I've been first place the entire race. I barely screwed up at all. And like, I'm not good at racing games. Generally, you know, like Driver and stuff, I can never get not Driver, sorry. Driver I did okay, actually. Gran Turismo. I never really got it super far in any of the Gran Turismos because I don't know, I just couldn't master that realistic racing. Nice. Okay, so that was my first time playing, and I beat the second place guy by 11 seconds. So that just tells you, maybe it gets harder. It could just be that this is easy to get started. Okay, I can only pick the two. Oh yeah, Radiator Springs is the one I just did. So let's try Ornament Valley. Okay, try somebody else this time. Acceleration, suspension, speed. I'm guessing suspension has to do with cornering. So he's a little faster. Acceleration, speed. Now I'm actually looking. I'm gonna try Luigi. I don't know why. I've always loved little cars. The first three cars I ever owned in my life were all little hatchbacks. And I love them. They're just so much fun to drive. It's like driving a go-kart. I got an SUV now, and it's okay. It serves its purpose, but it's not as fun to drive as my little cars. Ooh, track disappeared. Oh, okay, because it's a sandy track, so it's just like a... Oh, again, I missed that. I don't know what that is. A boost? Okay, I'm going to try... I've been holding A the whole time. For gas. I'm assuming B is going to be the brake. Sometimes it's really hard to tell where you're going. You know, for a GBA game though, a GBA racing game, yeah, B is break. This is pretty fun actually. It's a nice, easy pick up and play. I guess that's why there's an expert mode. Okay, I like that. I like games that aren't an insane challenge at the start and really let you get used to them. And then if you want to go further and make it harder for yourself, you switch over to expert mode. Which I probably would do if I got good enough at this game. Like, I mean, if a game is too easy, then it just gets boring. Look at... Okay. So, when the buildings were coming up on the left-hand side there, you could see that it was just like one flat plane with a texture on it. It wasn't like a full 3D polygon for the building. So, that's interesting, and I wonder if that contributes to how the frame rate is decent and that sort of thing. Like, I didn't like him quite as much as Lightning McQueen. Okay. Let's try this guy. Sarge. But yeah, so I'm sure they had to do use some tricks to really get the most out of the GBA hardware. I think, you know, based on what I've seen so far, they did a pretty good job. Like that, that building trick was something I don't fault them for at all, because if they can make the game like this smooth, then I don't mind little tricks like that. It's a small price to pay for having a better gameplay experience. Oh boy, okay, this guy is all over the place. Whew! Maybe suspension isn't cornering, because this guy didn't seem like he could corner that good. And he was, I think he was a 3 for suspension. Lightning McQueen was still my favorite car so far. Luigi was second, this guy's third. Although I guess you never know until you try them. Let's get back on the road maybe. I still want to know what happens when you hit those arrows. Like, I assume it's going to be some kind of power-up, or boost or something. But I don't know. And it seems like there's only one in every track. At least that was my experience the last 2 tracks, so let's see. Maybe there's one up here somewhere. I'm really, really, really going to try and make an effort to get it. Even if... Oh, okay, there wasn't even one on this course at all. Fascinating. Password to return to this point. Oh, that's good. You get a password system, so you don't have to redo a bunch of stuff. Okay. Yeah. Skip. Okay, challenge auto. Okay, I'm going back to my tried and true Lightning McQueen. I feel like he just handled and raced the best. Which kind of makes sense. Okay, here we go. So auto, that is the blue car, I think? Oh boy. Okay, maybe it wasn't just Sarge, the car. Maybe it was this track. This track seems slipperier than the other tracks. But it could be that it's mostly a gravel track. Oh, wow, that must be auto. Pretty fancy with his big spoiler there. That part is rough. You can't really see where you're going because of the hill in the corner at the same time. What I do like about this, well, I guess it's kind of a good and bad scenario. I like that it doesn't seem like there's laps. It's just one big circuit, and then you're done. Which is kind of good, because if there's any hard parts, you only have to go through them once. But at the same time, it's harder to get used to the tracks and really get good at them. Although I wonder if that's intentional, because then it makes you play the game a lot more to get good at it, instead of doing, like, 3 laps. On each course, you do 1, but, pretty much have to play it 3 times instead of doing 3 laps. Yeah, this track is definitely harder than the first couple. It seems a lot slicker, and that makes sense. It looks like it's either gravel, or it's like a dirt path with gravel around it. And I still won by 5 seconds. So I wonder if I unlock auto now. If I Cadillac range, okay. So let's see if I can pick auto now. Yes, I can. Oh, look at this guy. Wow. Okay, I'm picking auto. Like, why would you pick any other car? I wonder if there's better cars. Are there any like 5 stars for each category kind of cars? Oh yeah, auto. It's the best. And I'm wondering, there's a suspension one, and I was thinking like a suspension stat for the cars, and I'm wondering now if it's, rather than it being more for cornering, it's more for like how it handles off-road. That would make sense. It's like a big truck would be better off-road than like a, you know, a car with like Lightning McQueen with slick tires. Wow, this guy's fast. It is harder to control because he's fast. This game's very forgiving though. You don't slow down a ton when you're on the gravel. Holy crap, I'm just all over the place. Maybe a faster car wasn't the best option. Jeez. Oh. Okay. This is hard. And I think it's just this guy is going so fast that I can't corner fast enough. It's funny, I notice, I don't know if this is part of like an emulation problem, but I notice sometimes the trees and other cars, they kind of appear through the ground. I don't know, that just happened. I don't know if you saw it, but I have no idea if that's a glitch in the regular game or if that's just an emulation issue. But I'm not going to deduct any points for that in my score because I'm not convinced that it's the game's fault. Whoa. This strikes me as a game that's easy to pick up and play, but difficult to master. So I'm actually having a again I missed that. I'm actually having a really hard time right now because this car is so fast. And even though, although it was a suspension rating that was better, and I'm not 100% sure that's for cornering. Look at how bad I beat him. I drove terribly, and I still won by 18 seconds. Let's see. I'm doing pretty good. Like honestly, if I, was a kid with a GBA, this is a perfectly serviceable racing game. I have no problem with this game at all so far. Especially with it when there's an expert mode. I was just thinking maybe it's a touch on the easy side. But with that expert mode, like that could make a difference between an 8-year-old enjoying this game and like a 40-year-old enjoying this game. Not that a 40-year-old has better reflexes than an 8-year-old, because I'm proof of that. I think I used to be a lot better at games, but yep. Yeah, no, this game's pretty good actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm usually weary of licensed games, I think, like most seasoned gamers are, because most of them are not great. So I was a little bit worried this was going to be crappy. But, I mean, with Disney and Pixar throwing money behind it, I don't know if they would have half-assed it like some other licensed games do. That's what most of them are. They're just like, cash-ins on the franchise of the movie or whatever. But this seems like an actual legit game. I'm impressed. There's another pop in the big... Oh, okay, I have not hit one of those yet. I wonder if L and R do anything. No, doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I feel like this is the perfect game to like just pick up and play and have some fun with without having a stressful challenge and without having to redo races over and over and over until you win. Oh yeah. And I'm pretty impressed with the 3D engine that they're using too. See, I won by 22 seconds. No, sorry, 12 seconds. Apparently my math is not good. Okay, I'm going to do one more race, I think. Then I'm going to push in my 15 minutes here. Okay, here's another cutscene. I'm not reading what's happening in the cutscenes, but I do appreciate that they have that. If I wasn't doing it for a video, I probably would actually read the dialogue in the cutscenes, because I do like stories in games. This is fun because it's not the kind of game that would normally have a story. You know, like a racing game generally doesn't have a story per se, but this one's good. It's good that they have it anyway. I'm paying attention to the actual story. Okay. I keep expecting this to get harder. And I'm assuming it will a little bit. But I'm guessing because of that expert mode, it probably isn't going to get too hard. It's probably just going to stay, maybe get a little more challenging. I wonder how many tracks there are in this game. There's already been like, geez, how many races have I done? But there's probably been at least 5 tracks so far. Unless I've been redoing them and haven't noticed. I know one of them I had to redo, for sure. It was similar to this one. Maybe it is this one. Oh, seriously. I want to know what happens when you get those. Maybe I'll try again after I shut the video down and just see if I can get one of those, and I'll just comment in the video. I'll just splice in a little title card or something saying what they do. Oh. That's it. Oh. Okay. The 3D models are good in this. Like, for GBA, not bad. Okay, I have no idea what that did. I don't know if that was supposed to be some kind of nitro thing or something, but it doesn't look like I collected anything. Okay, I pulled a 180, turned around, got something. And I still won. Just barely though, only by like a second. Half a second. Okay. Fun game. Like, really, for me, I think this game is actually really good. Especially for a GBA game. Multiple difficulties. Like, 3D graphics is, you know, they're a little janky because of the hardware they're on, but because of the hardware they're on, it's impressive. I've seen some much worse 3D on the Game Boy Advance. I think it was that, I think it was a Medal of Honor game that was like the worst 3D game I've ever seen. Just terrible. But yeah, this one's pretty good. So for a rating, geez, that's tough. Like, I feel like it's, like I'm gonna, what should I give it? I'm gonna give it 4 Luigis out of 5, because the graphics are good for the GBA. It's got a story, even though I didn't really pay attention to it. It's probably not in depth, but it's got a story. It's fun to play. I feel like it'd be difficult to master, but it's easy to pick up and play. For a GBA racing game with 3D polygonal graphics. Is that even a word? Polygonal? Polygonal? Yeah, I'm definitely giving it 4 Luigis out of 5. It's a great game. Recommend you try it. Thanks for watching and have an excellent day.